Greetings, brethren. It is I, the donkey, and I'm just realizing I really need to get to a hairdresser again because this is getting naturally wavy, which I very much dislike, but we'll just have to deal with that for now. So today, I'm doing something very, very dangerous. We are once again with the Lemke brewery from Berlin. So far, I haven't been too excited with what they had, but to be fair, I tried two varieties of IPA and one variety of Berliner Weisse, which spoilers, wasn't a great fan of. I linked the Spree Coast IPA because it's the one I liked the most, and I guess I'll also link the Berliner Weisse because it's the funniest video. Yeah, so today I'm going to try their pale lager. Now this could be a sort of turning point with this brewery, because either they absolutely surprise me with this beer and it's awesome and they win back a lot of good faith, or they ruin this, my favorite kind of beer, and I'm going to be very upset with them. And that might color my future reviews of them, and that would of course not be very fair. That's why I'm saying it's kind of dangerous, because you know, I might make it more difficult for myself to give them fair reviews in the future. But hopefully it's just good. Alright, so the first thing I can say is, unlike the American lagers that I've had recently, this one actually smells like a pale lager, and the smell is actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm so far I'm invested in this. It's only 4.9%, sort of from the lower end for a pale lager, but let's see. All right, color-wise, I would say this is actually quite dark for a pale, kind of orangey. Yeah, I didn't get much of a crown, but that is definitely these glasses. I have to just be way too careful not to overspill to you know, really go for a proper head. I'm sure if I just had a mug or a bigger bottle, that wouldn't have been a problem. Oh, it actually smelled kind of nice. So this is exciting. Let's see and have a go and see if they disappoint me or excite me. Well done, Lemke. That is a good pale lager. It's quite malty, which isn't generally a bad thing about a pale lager. I think there are, I mean, one of the locals that I have had several times now on the channel, because I also had it in a drink and chat, I think I called the video, the Grohe Hell. That's kind of what the maltiness reminds me of. It's very similar to that. But other than that, it's really nicely rounded. It is a little bit higher on the sort of the hoppiness in this is one of those that kind of will have that sort of petroleum effect if you really go at it. But that's okay. I can live with that because I don't need every beer to be a just, you know, drinking, chugging beer. It's sometimes fine to have even a pale lager that's a little bit more flavorful, where you're really just drinking for the enjoyment of it. And this is pretty good. Is pretty much in that category. Yeah, very nice. This is definitely something that I would drink after a day at work. It's that kind of beer. We just want to settle down, have a brew, watch some hockey maybe, and yeah, it's very nice. It's not very bitter at all. I would say even for a pale lager, it is actually quite mild on the bitterness. The hop flavor, as I said, it comes through a little bit more in that sort of petroleum-esque thing, so it's a little bit more acidy, I would say, instead of the you know, the extreme bitterness that you get from a Pilsner or from an IPA. Yeah, very interesting beer. Quite well rounded as well. I don't. There's nothing going on now where I'm like, I'm not enjoying it anymore. Even the maltiness, it's quite distinct in the beginning, but it just kind of rounds itself out and just there's not much of that left afterwards. So yeah, all in all, it just leaves you. It leaves me pleasantly surprised. I actually really like it. So yeah, well done, Lemke Brewery. Um, you have certainly redeemed yourself in that there's at least one beer in your lineup that I'm going to be rating positively. This is actually really nice. Would this ever make my like top 10 or top 20? Probably not. I think it sort of skirts just on the outside, but I will actually say I enjoy this more than Go Ahead, which is one of the locals. Now, it kind of falls for me in the same category because it's a bit more malty. So when I want a pale lager that's just kind of easy to drink, sort of a summery beer, I would not really reach for this most of the time. Um, so this is something that I would enjoy more probably in the winter time when I'm looking for something a bit lighter, not too much of a bock or like a porter or a stout or any of those more sort of heavy warming beers. This is something a bit more light, but I would still put it in that kind of category for more of a cold season beer. But it is quite enjoyable. I'm very happy with this, and I'll definitely drink the rest of it. It's quite nice. I'm so pleasantly surprised because if you have seen the other videos of my Lemke Brewery reviews, the reason I have so many of these is because they sell a box that is basically one of each beer that they do, and I think it's 12 or 16 of them. So I have a whole box of Lemke beer sitting there, and I just kind of am working my way through it slowly. There's a lot of IPA and really crafty stuff in there. But they do also have, there are a few things in there that are a bit more traditional. I'm pretty sure there's also a Pilsner. Um, I think there was also a red ale or maybe a brown ale, some kind of ale that's not an IPA. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those kinds. With every sort of craft brewery, I always expect there to be a bunch of IPAs. That's just a craft beer favorite. It's because it's an extreme flavor, and I suppose the people in that sort of target audience they really like that kind of stuff, which is fair enough. Uh, I've said multiple times I'm not the biggest fan of IPAs, but I can absolutely understand why people like them. They are quite different and interesting, I suppose. And if you like that sort of thing, I've in one of my videos, I don't remember which one, I also said that they the thing I don't like about them often is that they kind of remind me of a gin and tonic, where it's just that really bitter, that sort of mouth pulling bitterness from a tonic water, and that's kind of what I get from an IPA as well. So if you enjoy a gin and tonic, which I don't, then that is probably a beer you like, and or maybe I don't know. You do you, but for me, it's kind of a similar thing, and I'm not really into it too much. So yeah, I'm very. Long story short, I'm very happy that they have some more traditional things because this to me is the a quintessential Bavarian pale lager, and it's from Berlin, which I'm sure there are plenty of Bavarians who are going to be upset about that. That the disgusting Prussians have stolen their beer, but yeah, so not too bad. Quite surprised, really, and positively so, and happy. I will say that happy because I was quite worried that I'd have to poo-poo all over all of their beers. But yeah, no, this is nice. So they definitely have the potential to make good beers, and I guess that's also a disadvantage for them now because that will make me rate their other beers more stringently because they can if they want to. So I guess that's what you did to yourself, Lemke Brewery. Yeah, very enjoyable, very nice. I would definitely get this again. Which for a pale lager, that means something. You know, I mean, there are a lot of pale lagers that I like. So this one definitely making it into the upper echelon, and I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. Yeah, it's good. It's not going to reach the echelons of Rothaus Tannenzäpfle, which of course isn't a pale lager, but still. I still think it's very, very good. And yeah, very surprised and happy that this brewery does have the potential for, something that's a bit more traditional, that doesn't, you know, beat you over the head with just being experimental and innovative and, those sorts of craft beery things that they like to throw around. But they do definitely do craft beery stuff, like have stories on their labels, which is lame. But we'll just skip past that, and it won't affect the rating. This will still be a 7.5 out of 10 because I do think it's quite pleasant. And as you can see, I liked it enough to finish it all. So that's always a positive. All right, thank you very much for watching, guys. I hope you had a lovely evening. Bit more of a low-key episode, not too jokey today because I'm really tired. I had a really, really, really long hike today. Yeah. Maybe I'll talk about that in another episode, but I don't know. I don't think I should talk about every hike. Today's hike was kind of crap, so I'll talk about a good hike. Yeah, and I hope you will come back to me and watch my videos on another day. Take care, guys.